Hey, hello everybody. How's everybody doing? This is Kevin here. How's everyone doing? Today we are doing the BaZi structure, right? So these are stuff that are more, for lack of wording, more structure in terms of when you are doing a BaZi study, right? So these are also kind of the stuff that if you go for BaZi class, they will spend a bit more considerable amount of time explaining, right? So I'll just give you a taste today on how people study the classical text. And by the way, I just give you the footnote. After you've seen this, right, better tell you don't go study classical text, just study the modern version, which is what we call the super condensed version. So later I'll tell you where the super condensed come from. And now moving forward, I'm not going to do it in this particular format because it's completely waste of time. And the actual value of doing this is actually not very high, right? So straight away I'll give you the footnote first, right? So yes, we're going to talk about the secret of BaZi, and one of the biggest thing when you study BaZi is actually the structure. Almost 60-70% of the time if you study BaZi is about structure. It's not about anything else, right? So it's about structure. So morning first, Pepper is here around, Manuel. Hello Stuart, hello Sabrina, hello, hi, how you guys all doing? Right, so today is a Sunday. So tomorrow I'll disappear for the good period of about 3 weeks, going for doing recce for you all for the excursion in China, right? First destination, we're gonna go Taisan and become an emperor, right? So Taisan is where emperor is made, right? Before every single emperor embark on their journey of becoming an emperor, they will go Taisan and ask for approval. Okay, right? So tomorrow I'll go Taisan, ask for approval before I become an emperor. Okay, right? Let me shrink myself down to the smaller version so it's basically easier, right? So getting in touch with me, right? So there's Telegram, they can basically do that there, right? So or you want to read newsletter, by the way, the newsletter in Substack will still continue to do because everything is scheduled already, right? So it's scheduled to go out, right? So if you miss me, right, so go Substack, sign up, right? So and then there is a community channel. Yes, I will do a bit of posting into the community channel on the journey there. Again, try my best. I will try to record. If it's possible to do some live, then I try to possible to do some live from there. Right, so again, data firewall limitation, China, whatever it is, right? So I just did that. Right, so I'll do some recording. I'll do some posting, maybe in Facebook or maybe in YouTube itself. See how, right? So now I'll still make some content for you all, but it won't be a live interactive session. All right, so don't miss me too much. Hello Jocelyn, how are you doing? Next, right? So getting your BaZi chart printed. So of course, you want to study structure, you want to know, you need to get your BaZi chart printed, right? So again, Taipei Astro is one of my partner here. He's the one who did all the charting and everything, right? So go ahead and sign up for a free account, right? So it's basically fine, free account, you get the same chart, and then go and take a look, right? So now structure, very easy. Structure is basically your day master against the branch of the month. That's it. Right, the rest of the di-da, don't bother about it first. Okay, right? So whatever that you see in the month, branch, not the stem, is called structure. That's all. This is the easy version for you, because if it's too convoluted, a lot of other things, right, you just get confused. Right, don't get confused first. Start off with that. You see whatever that's in there, that's the structure. Like this particular fella is a direct officer structure. That's it. Finish. Right, so don't go on with the rest of the discussion. But not this one, but that one. At this current moment, you cannot but anything. Just start off with that first. Do the rest of it. Later on you build up, because you don't have the your mind doesn't work in that particular manner, right? So now separate thing, you all know how to read already. We have gone through all the stem, we've gone through all the branches, we've gone through all the interaction, we've gone through everything already. Anything that has to do with essential reading, we have done all of that. Right, so don't come and tell me that I don't know that the rooster and also the dog got harm one. I don't know. Go and watch the essential things to talk about the branch interaction, right? So in a study of BaZi, you are expected to know all of this. You are even expected to know the hidden branch. Yeah, so when you talk about you straight away you should know that there's sin metal inside, right? But right now software tell you about everything. Okay. Crimson, you need to create an account, right? Like any other software, even Google, you need to create an account to access the software. That's it. right? So the account is essentially there's a free version and a paid version. Paid version got many buttons to click. Okay, so free version you don't have so many buttons to click, but it serves the entirely same function. You will still get the bar chart print. Cool, right? So just go and sign up for the free version. Very easy, right? So just go and use, right? So nowadays, I know every single plotter also is like there are many plotter out there, right? So depending on which plotter you want to use, which one that you know is more, you are more easier for you to read. Okay, right? So no, go and get that one done. Right, so then now these are the textbook, right? So these are the 4 most famous textbook, like you can see, right? So Sam Ming Tong Wei. Don't ask me for the Chinese English translation. There are no standard English translation for all of these things. Then there's Kong To Bo Gao. Then there's Dik Tin Sui, and then Yun Hoi Ji Bing. Right, so these 4 very classical, very they are the legendary textbook. I just put it in a way, legendary textbook. So anybody who studied BaZi would have read any one of these 4, right? So you know, each is written by different people in different era, right? So in different people there, and most of them are basically summary. So if you are looking for, you know, very heavy data, why this, why that, all of them know, because you need to understand in the olden day, because of the war, because of, you know, the people need to run away, you know, when A army come and attack, B army come and attack, C army come and attack. There's nobody who's gonna carry all the data, right? They're gonna grab the summary book and they're gonna run. Okay, and grab the summary book, grab some, you know, summary sheet. They're gonna run, and then, you know, this is gonna, you know, consolidate his everything is basically just consolidation. So that's why when you read it, right, later I'll show you, a lot of things doesn't really make sense. There's no reasoning behind it. There's no why it come from. So that's why I said, if you study Chinese metaphysics, please throw your English brain down the drain first. Your English brain completely cannot be used in studying this. Okay, right? So it's just, you know, the entire thing is that, you know, you read it, you either use it or you just discard it, right? So that's why, you know, a lot of people say, oh no, Chinese metaphysics is very mumbo jumbo. It's because the way that they study is not really that correct. So you can go and Google all this book is available online in Chinese. They scan it. You go read. And then I say, good luck. Right? You can go and, you know, download all of this. It's all scanned nicely, right? So you go and download. Including mistake also is everybody replicate the same mistake. But anyway, right? So it doesn't matter, right? So the mistake doesn't really harm the entire thing too much, right? So these are the textbooks. So now some of the texts I just picked up, and I won't pick everything up because it's going to be completely waste of time picking everything up. You know, this is just to show you how things work. All right. So this is how the text look like. So you can see that, you know, the original one are all straight down because why? It's written on bamboo. Right? That's the most original one, is basically bamboo sheet. Bamboo sheet, you don't write thing left to right. You're writing top to bottom because the bamboo is straight, ma. Right? Nobody tie the bamboo like this one. Right. In too bad Chinese is hopeless. My Chinese also hopeless, ma. You can just copy this one, throw into Google Translate. Although the English translation in Google Translate is very bad, I'll just tell you first. I could recommend you to throw this into ChatGPT. ChatGPT translation is pretty okay, pretty close to whatever it is. My advantage is that I can listen to the language, whether Chinese or Cantonese. I can understand audio, Chinese or so. Google, you can have the mic button, right? So you can put it on speaker, then it will read for you. So I can hear the reading, although I cannot read it. I can hear the reading, and then I can confirm with the English reading. So that's why I know Google Translate translation piece of crap. Then, you know, when you put it into ChatGPT and you let it write again, then, you know, in ChatGPT translation make more sense. Okay, right? So I'm just in a juncture whereby, you know, audio command of the language is pretty good. Visual, nah. Don't ask me to write. can't write it, right? So these are how classical texts are being thing, right? So you are essentially reading this, right? Essentially you're reading this, you know, and then it will tell you, you know, it's like, you know, one of these here is 人影魁貌精破镜, right? So now this is 60 Na Ying, right? So this is basically Na Ying. I read it now, I already know Na Ying already. So this one is whatever, then this is the description, Now, don't ask for why. When you read classical text, do not ask for the origin. They give you the result, okay? You just use the result. Never go and question why like this, right? So don't ask for it, right? So the why like this part, if you got time, you go and research it on your own. Research it on your own. Verification, you verify on your own. It's just a piece of text. They tell you that if you observe this, these are the results. This is how classical text work. There's no oh what's the result? Where's the supporting data? Citation. So that's why I don't do the English brain thingy. Don't have whatever citation, whatever data you look for, or date. Either date or burn. Okay, cool. Right, so this way you need to know. Okay, so structure. What is the use of structure? It is the convenience of identifying what is important, what is not important. That's it. That's all the use structure. Like for example, cars. Why does cars need to come up with so many class? Right. So what does like Mercedes? These are all Mercedes. If you take a look at it, these are all Mercedes. These are all 4 wheels with a shell and an engine inside. What the hell is the difference? Right. All of them, if you drive to Johor, they will reach Johor. If you drive to Penang, they will reach Penang. Right. There should not be any difference between all of them. But yet, if you see somebody drive an A class, right, you straight away form a lot of conclusion in relation to the A class Mercedes that the fella drive. Why? There's a reason, right? There's reason why, when a person drive A class versus a person driving an E class Mercedes. 2 guys come to the party. Right? So you guys been to party before, right? Those doesn't matter whether party, whether convention, or whatever that's happening in the hotel. Then you were standing in the hotel lobby. Then you see a car coming in, boom, A class. The fella came down from the car, A class. Straight away, you got many conclusions about this person. You don't know who this person is. You don't know his name. First time seeing this guy, but park over here, A class. Right, so and then he walk over here. Now straight away got many conclusions already. Are you just based on the car? Then if this fella come over, the fella drive a C class. Now as you compare to the fellow got A class, straight away got up and down already. Again, you do not know hell about this guy. Zero information about this guy, but because he drive a C class straight away, and suddenly somebody come with an S class, it's like boo. You tell me why? Right, so if somebody come and ask you why you are treating the guy who's driving the S class very different from the guy who's driving the A class? Can you go and explain to the fire? Because you don't know. Right? That's the entire idea. You don't know. Right? So, but same thing with your structure. Right? So structure give you the overall impression of the entire thing. It conveniences you in actually do assessment in a very biased, generalized manner. So it makes everything faster. It doesn't make anything accurate at all. Right? Does a person who drives an S class or an E class is generally better than a person who drives an A class? You have enough life experience, you know that whatever car that they drive doesn't matter. Most probably the S class, the E class fella may have rented the car. Right? If you are, sorry to say, dumb enough to believe that an E class fella is higher class than an A class fella, then congratulations to you, your life experience not good. Right? So same thing when you're reading a BaZi chart, if you are too heavily dependent on the structural sense of it, right? So then, right? So in the olden day, if you don't understand the structure, you go all over the places, but today can. Okay, happy Sunday. Have a productive recce trip. Yes. Thank you, Waywood. Right. So the structure is there to provide you with a convenience of reading. So when you're reading, you take a look. Oh, this fella is this structure, but I should pay attention to this stuff. It doesn't mean that is that. It doesn't mean that's all then whole beyond. So that's why the important thing is not the structure, is what the hell you want to do. Right? What the hell you want to do. There are certain things where A class does better than E class. If you just want to show off that, you're okay, then E class does a better job at showing off. If you want to usher your family around, right, B class is better. Right? A class is for, young single couple, then probably, yeah. Young single couple that is on budget, A class. Right? If you are not really on budget, it's C class. If you got family to carry around, you basically need a half van transport grocery and everything. B class is better. E class is better for a business thing, right? So now you can see it when you take a look at it, So if a fella drive at A class, this fella is probably on the way of being successful, still on a bit of a budget, right? So this one, is not that egoistic, E class fella maybe. By the way, C class people are more egoistic than E class people. E class people usually they've already made it. They've made it, they've seen it before, These are usually old rich folks. Older lah, not old, old rich folks, right? Whereas the C class are the new rich. Right? So they just reach the front door of the rich. They are still pretending to be rich. Whereas the E class is already midway or almost finishing the experience of being rich. Right? So whereas the B class is stuck being dragged down by the children. Right? So again, it gives you that particular what we call feel of what is happening. So then I don't think people will buy BMW or want to be. I mean, really buy rent one that want to really buy BMW because it's an expensive car. BMW is expensive. Even the A class is like 200,000. That's a lot of money, like idea. Right, and it does exactly the same as what my car is doing. Right, I drive an MPV, like it is a again, like it's like a transport machine. Everything is inside my MPV. Everything also is inside. It's like a moving office. But anyway, right? So didn't expect lesson on car class this morning. Okay, right, so put this aside, right? So put this aside, let's take a look, right? So now these are what we call the standard structure. Right, so now in terms of studying structure, then you need to know that these are standard. Now standard structure is very simple. This is actually the 10 God. Right? The 10 God, last time before, right? The 10 God is basically each of the God would have their structure. Right, later we'll talk about how to identify. So you got eating God, hurting officer, direct well, direct officer, second killing, direct resource, indirect resource. So this 8 is really the standard structure. The other 2, goat blade and prosper structure, which is the companion structure, they usually are not classified under the standard. They are usually not classified under standard. And if you take a look at it, there's actually no such thing as a Rockwell structure. The Rockwell structure is always called goat blade. You see, the Rockwell is only called Rockwell when the Rockwell appear on the stem only. So if you go through proper study, then If you are not, then it doesn't matter. Up, down, bottom also we call Rockwell. When it appear at the bottom, it is always called goat blade. Right? Bottom is called goat blade, top is called Rockwell. So there's no such thing as a Rockwell structure. So we always call it a goat blade structure. Alright, so again, the prosper structure is basically friend. Right, so friend structure is only on top is called friend structure. On the bottom, it is called log. Log is called salary, by the way. So when it's at the bottom, we usually call kin log. Kin log, thriving. Right, so some people call it thriving, some people call it salary. I don't know why. But anyway, right, so it's called proper structure, prosper structure. Right, so it's called kin logo. So your friend structure official name is called kin logo. Right, see the salary, see prosper structure. Right, so what other weird structure is there? Just show you guys. Right, so there is this extreme structure. Extreme structure means that it is either extremely too weak or extremely too strong. It's both valid. So whatever that is in center, bell curve, those are called standard structure. Then there's 2 tail end. Too much and also too little, right? So it's called extreme structure. Right? So these are extreme. So extreme structure, is the following structure: follow sun, follow wealth, follow killing. So it's vibrant wood, vibrant fire, vibrant metal, vibrant earth, vibrant water. So the entire chart, all water, all right. So and also all the what we call custom structure. Okay, there's a lot of dual god transform right? So hues and this you see that there's a lot of different structure, right? So you want to study structure, also study until hell, right? So but you say, but so much, how am I going to remember? Okay, don't give me the bullshit. So how I can remember? You can remember every single card that's ever being launched out there. How many cards being launched out there? Right? If I right now tell you BYD seal, you already know how BYD seal look like. You explain to me how the hell you remember BYD seal look like what? right? So now I tell you, oh, you know, what about the tank? The tank straight away, no, already, you know, Hummer. Yeah, I just named only a Hummer straight away. You already got the Hummer, you know, vision come out already, right? So a McLaren F1, you already know what McLaren F1 is. Right, extreme is when you exceed. No, there's no such thing as, you know, exceeding how many. You know, don't use any percentage. Again, English brain throw out all the percentage thingy. These are all English brain thingy. Do not use any English brain in analyzing Chinese metaphysics. Fail one, I tell you. Right, Chinese metaphysics do not runs on the Western scientific standard. It doesn't run on that particular thing. Right, so don't use Western standard. Sure die one. Okay, right? You want to study Chinese, you know, please think like how a ancient Chinese would think. Right, there's no such thing as percentage. Right, so when this was invented, percentage has never been invented yet. Okay, when pyramid was built, there was no such thing as gravity. Newton has yet to discover gravity, and since gravity doesn't exist, right, you need to study in that particular manner. Okay, right? So we're gonna go in and take a look at the eating god first, right? Eating god. Now, so eating god, again, general conception is somebody who is very classy, right? Somebody who's very classy. Usually, their scholastic achievement is pretty good. Their family background is not the person who's gonna get their hand dirty. Right. Eating god, no getting hand dirty. Right. So the we usually said the Guai Hei, right? Guai Hei is the what is that? Nobility. This nobility is very high. Right? So eating god is nobility, but it's those classical vehicle, like vintage, vintage vehicle, well kept vintage vehicle. Not well kept vintage vehicle, don't talk. It's the vintage vehicle. You know, it's like the feeling is like you touch it, you know, it will spoil. You know, it's like those, if you buy clothing, is those clothing whereby, you know, is a lot of hand embroidery, you know, a lot of lace, you know. It's a very dandy, you want to call pretty also can, very dandy, very presentable. Those that cannot go into washing machine one. Right. Because they're good for look, not really too good for use, right? It's not that they are not useless, right? So it's things that is more represented as a cultural item rather than your everyday to use item. You have that particular look inside the car, you know, it's more, again, it's more classy type. Right? So those cars that is for show, you know, those cars is for show rather than for practicability purpose. Right, so that's why, you know, again, eating god. So you know, eating god is more the what we call the more the creative end of things. You know, all those kind of stuff is there, right? So those things that is, you know, on fashion runway, right? So you know, is useful and not useful. You know, it's like, you know, again, like entertainment, song, right? So let's see, what's the overall use of a song? Practicability purpose, the song is actually no use one, but you appreciate the song. Correct, no? Right, so there's this sense of appreciation of the song. It is something that, you know, is there, but it's also not there. Only certain people is able to appreciate. So when you are sad, a sad song make a lot of sense. When you just get dumped by the girl, the very, very sad, you know, losing your love type of song makes sense. You can see, but to a person who, you know, just found love, that particular song is a piece of shit. Lift up your spirit, not to say lift up your spirit again. I know when you're having a sad time, that sad song, I don't think the sad song lift up your spirit. I think it push you down further. But you have that Chinese called gong ming, sense of agreement between gentlemen, right? So like eating god, gentlemen, right? So they have that gentleman sense, right? So everything, you know, have that particular class, nobility, gentleman sense, gentle, which means this particular fellow you put inside battlefield sure die. Right? Not much of a practical use, you know, but you need them. You need them as a sense of, you know, oh, there is this particular level that I can achieve. Right? So that's general eating god. So I'll give you some general sense of eating god so that, you know, when you look at it, you see that particular person, you can actually recognize one. Dandily classy. Right? Inspire the Shen Yue, right? It's not that they cannot fight, you know, it's their fighting is very gentleman type of fighting. You know, it's like more the what you call that, the sword, in fencing. It's more fencing type. You just imagine you ask a fencer to go and fight one with the Chinese big knife, right? One knife come, you want to block. You see, use the fence and then go and block people. Cut the fence in half, including you. Right, can see, and then you use the fence, like, it's like, that one thing really cannot fight, man. Whack you is whack you. Right, but it look elegant. Right, it look elegant, it look cute. It's very gentlemanly. The entire idea of fencing is that it is not really to kill the other opponent. So the gentleman is that, if I'm able to touch you, right? So it means that, if this is a real full-fledged sword fight, you would have been dead. That's gentleman agreement. It's like, we're just trying to show you that, it is good, but we are not really trying to whack each other out. So that's where these people are very gentlemen. So they don't really engage in hard fight. Can understand? It's not that really they cannot fight. They probably can. Right? They probably can, but they prefer the method of, a softer, negotiation, talk to you in a proper manner, let be civilized. So be civilized, right? So civilized also is a good word to describe this, right? So can you see, so there is a overall image. Same thing, again, you see somebody drive a B class, there's an overall image. Right? Even if you talk about people by driving BMW versus Mercedes, already got an overall image. Right, so a BMW driver usually is a bit lesser in terms of class than a Mercedes driver. Mercedes driver usually is more older, stable for the BMW youngster chap. Can see you name the brand already, you already have a different look. Right, so already have a different look on the person, and that is irrespective of who walk out of the car. You actually do not know who the hell the fella is. You don't know what that car come only. This fella is a pie gear because drive BMW. Okay, too bad, right? So that's why the structure give you a overall encompassing way of reading a chart faster. Okay, they just give you more convenient only. Cool, come, let's take a look at some classical text. So these are classical texts. Right, so these are classical texts, on it. Right, so one of it is from the 三明通文. So you can go in 三明通文 and get this. Then you go look at it. 死啦. Now these are just very small percentage of the overall classical text. So the 孔通寶鑑 got 孔通寶鑑 section in talking about the structure. Then your 淵海之評 got 淵海之評, and there is a lot of other summary, a lot of other things, So in the olden day, you are expected to read this, memorize this, and even when you are doing reading, you're supposed to be able to quote this. So answer is, I want to study this in a classical manner. I'm a classical. Good luck. My answer to you is really directly, it's just good luck. Right? Try. Right. Can be young punk driving parents' car. Yes, also can. But you don't know, you see. Right? You don't know the car belongs to who. Right? So no, these are classical texts. I'm just showing you, that these are classical texts. If you can understand this, good luck. Right? How you going to study this, and does it actually make sense? That's another thing. And I said, does it even make sense now? Right? It could be something that is very, very factual during then, then again. And again, there's no explanation. These are just summary wording. Right, so let's go through the wording and see. Now, see, the going through the wording part, I'm just going to do it like now only, because it's really, after this, you'll find that, takes so long one, yes, and very little value. Okay, so how to identify a structure? Again, it's just the day master against the month. So your software would have translated the eating god for you. So day master with a eating god in the branch, eating god structure. Right, very easy, right? No need to take a look, just have to take a look at the day master, right? So then go for the branch and then see what is the main chi. So, but what if it's in the sub chi? I tell you to read main chi, go and read sub chi, slap you. Right, so of course, different day master, then the eating god translation will be different. So if let's say that you're Jiawood, so Jiawood, eating god is to produce the element that is of your opposite, same polarity. So for Jiawood, all right, so it produces fire. So Bing fire would be your thing. So who has Bing fire? Right, who has Bing fire as it means snake. So a Jiawood born in snake month would be eating god. Right? So that's manual. So again, if you're gonna print it out, just use eye and so people still ask, how do I know this is an eating god? Use your eye and read. Right? Your eye can see, right? Can see your English word there written eating god, right? Eating god, no? Right? Don't ask how do I read it? Use eye. Right? Anything in BaZi, you have a how do I see, use eye to see. Right? If you cannot read eating god, as in, you really cannot read English, then I can't help you. Same thing, I cannot read Chinese. Okay. All right, so this one version. What about other version? So this one definitely is an eating god. This one also you cannot find. It's eating god on top, eating god on bottom. Is not eating god is what you tell me. Right? You can see eating god top, eating god bottom. And this one confirm eating god. If this one you still want to argue with people, it's not eating god, I'll slap the hell out of you. Right? This is a confirm eating god. Right? Okay? Right? So this is a confirm version of eating god. Right? So now you take a look, right? So now there is no, for the Jiawood just now, there is no such thing as a Bing Si. There is no Bing Si pillar in the world. Right, so which means for a Jiawood, you will never find a pure eating god versus eating god. Right, you can only have Bing Wu, which is the Wu if this is the hurting officer. So which means that you cannot actually find a pure eating god Bing Jia. By the way, all the yang stem you cannot really find a pure eating god. Yin stem you can find. Now you get to see. Oh, so actually yin stem is more eating god. Yang stem is more hurting officer. Right, so these are observation after some time. Hello Crimson, thank you for the coffee money. Right? That's yang. Alright. Alright, come. Next one. What about like this? Like this also can. 这样也可以 ，right？ 这样也没有什么关系 ，right？ 这个也可以 ，right？ 这样也可以 ，right？ You have a top. Now the bottom portion, the small little what we call residual qi can only be used if it's paired with a stem. Only when there is a stem, the residual qi can be used. That's the only condition. If there is no stem on top, your residual qi is as good as rubbish. So that's why we don't read residual qi. Okay, residual qi can only be used if you have an accompanying stem. Don't have, bye-bye. Cool, right? So do again, easy. Right? So like first sentence. Right? First sentence. So see, I even put in the Hanyu Pinyin because I can read the English. Right, you can see the Hanyu Pinyin is basically English spelling, right? S-H-I, shi, S-H-E-N, shen, shi shen, Y-O-U, you, Q-I, qi. Right. C-Hack don't care about, whether, it is pure, whatever it is. All those don't care first, just identify. Okay, there's eating god on the branch, eating god, that's it. Finish for today. The rest of it, don't care about it too much first. Because too many information, you just whack each other and then end up, you're not doing anything. So again, conclusion. B class, drive in, open door, got family. Whether the fellow really married, not married, divorced, everything, don't care first. As long as you drive B class over, first conclusion, got family first. So when I talk to you, talk family first. Makes sense, huh? Right, so we are trying to cut down the too many noisy thingy. Right, we cut down too many noisy things. We go right to the branch of it. Right, so you guys start to see, right? So start to see, right? So it's okay. So 食神有气, 生财官. right? So then, you know, 想要他强忘本感. So this is how a Mandarin would have written it. Cantonese would 食神有氣生財官先要他強旺本幹. Doesn't matter what language you use. You can use Cantonese, whatever, they don't care, right? So just read it. Right, so then 嗰個若是反商來奪食no 若是反商來奪食茫茫辛苦或牽絆. Right, so that this is the sentence. So right now, how are you gonna translate this into something? Right, so these are just conclusion. Right, so 食神有氣生財官. Right, so 一定if got luck. Right, so it is growing the Chai Guan is wealth and also what we call influence. So now wealth and influence here, you need to Chai is usually talking about Zhen Chai because the Pian Chai is Zhen Chai is direct wealth, Pian Chai is indirect wealth flow. The way that the Pian Chai is written in Chinese and the way that Zhen Chai is written in Chinese is different. So Chinese one particular wording is very compact. It has a lot of different meaning. So the way that it's written. So this Chai represent direct wealth. Guan represent direct officer. It is not 7 killing. So 7 killing, of course, you know, you will written there as Sa, right? Well, at least you read Chinese better. I can pronounce Chinese better than you. Right? I can pronounce Chinese better than you. Okay? Right, so okay. So if you take a look at that, right? So no, yes. Oh yes. You know, just now point out the Ren water is actually a hurting officer, but never now you pretend that this is Kui water lah. Pretend this is Kui water, right? Sin metal produce Kui water, not Ren water, right? So just forget about that. I'll change the slide, you know, one day down the road. So sorry lah, you know, one person do things like that one. Okay, right? So 想要他强忘本干. So you see, if you want the eating god to be strong. Right, so yourself, your day master need to be strong. So now this one go back to day master have to be strong. Yes, all this day master must be strong crap is from all this book because every single book also gonna tell you for you to properly use this structure, you need to have strong day master. Right, so this one, then you go back to the how do you decide whether element is strong or not strong. So then afterward you will go through a confusing things that they want the element to be strong and then they want the day master to be strong. These two fellows cannot be strong at the same time. Because you only got one element in demand. So how is it supposed to be strong? You get confused, you see. So you know how to mitigate. Again, don't mitigate anything first. There's no such thing as mitigating here first. Right? Don't mitigate anything. No, just these are just information. Just read it, absorb it. Okay? Right, so then 若是反商, no, so 商 is the hurting officer, right? And then 来夺食, right? So 夺食 is a specific term for indirect resource. Okay, it's a specific. So you see, when you're reading this, you don't know all your basic thingy and you don't know all the jargon terminology. You read this, you die. Then you know if like you know so if eating god end up in fighting, sang mean that end up hurt or somebody come and steal the fellow's food. If you read it like that, you're dead meat. Understand or not? Right? So it's so that you know if eating god gets beaten up by people and then the food got taken away, then the eating god no use anymore. Say like then you die. Right, so this is overall looking at the chart. If the chart got hurting officer, you know, if the chart got hurting officer inside, or the particular chart actually has a indirect resource inside, then you see the conclusion of this sort of fellow is that the fellow is always very busy, right? Very exhausted, 辛苦, right? So 或牵绊 is always in misfortune. So eating god. So if you're eating god structure, then suddenly got hurting officer appearing inside the chart. Then or there's indirect resource appearing inside the chart. The conclusion is this particular person life very hard one. Is it really very hard? Now to me, it's depending how he used the chart. But to a reader of a classical sense, he will straight away conclude that this chart is not good. So this is where this is a D class chart. 金 gok. Right, so an A class eating god chart would not have any hurting officer inside, would not have any indirect resource inside. This is how a class in a structure is basically being determined. This is just very easy, right? Very hard to confirm. If you don't read enough, right? If you don't read again, right? ST, the classical text never tells you, you know, this one is applied to Yu Hei, this one is applied to Jing Hei, applied to this. It never say anything. You know, you form your own conclusion. It's just telling you these are the info that they tell you. Eating God, day master need to be strong, right? Best if you got, you know, if you got direct officer and also well-star direct wealth inside. So which means that eating God like to see direct wealth, like to see direct officer, don't like to see hurting officer, don't like to see indirect resource from this particular sentence. And so you want the, you know, compressed version. Right? So, you know, this is just one sentence only, like we are low. How many more to go? Right? Right, so 十神无损, 格崇高. So if the eating God don't have any 损, so now you're going to say, what the hell is 损? Yeah, one wording only 损, right? So 损 is damage. Damage and harm, right? So then what the hell is damage and harm? Which means if eating God don't get beaten by people, right? Nobody come and whack the fellow, leave the fellow alone, Nobody come and whack the fellow, right? So then the fellow is good lah, no? So if you're eating God structure, right, you cannot get hit by people. If you translate like that, then, you know, die lah. Right, so like Cedric, like said, now you see, I know you have eating God structure since both IR and HR appear, right? Then, you know, it's lousy. From the classical text point of view, then you are hopeless lah. Understand or not? From classical point of view, but is it really true? You need to know how to utilize the chart, even if it's in this condition. Now, by the way, I know 无损 mean that they do not have the. Now, this one go back to 八字. 八字 mean the negative interaction. Negative interaction mean your clash, your harm, your punishment, your destruction, right? 影冲破坏, right? 影冲破坏, right? So you don't have punishment. You don't have clash, you don't have destruction, you don't have harm. Wow, just now say that, you know, hurting officer cannot be there, indirect resource cannot be there. Right now, my Bazi chart also cannot have any one of these. If you have got anything of that, right, lousy chart. A bit hurting, right? So it's just very short sentence only, right? So can you see, so, you know, if you are read by a classical trained fella, chances of your chart being lousy is like astronomically high, right? Find direct officer. Right? So now 丙甲庚人, right? So 丙甲庚人, so this is the four, so again, 丙甲庚人, you know, they never tell you is what. These are day master lah. Right? So 贵气疗, right? So and then 丁己义性堕福禄. Okay, right? So now you can see, right? So if you are a eating god of the day master 甲丙庚壬, this four, right? So what happened to Wu? Don't have Wu. So if you're Wu day master, too bad. Right, so this one is tell you that the 贵气 is nobility, right? So nobility class. Usually Yang day master eating god very noble. Then Yin day master is 丁己义 and also Sin. So who is missing? 癸 water. So if you are 癸 water, too bad. Right? 富禄 mean that very good, fortunate, and 禄 is again a root is translated as income. So which means that, you know, your life very easily earn money. Right? IR control EG, so that is probably why they don't like it. They don't like IR one. In the olden day, you know, they do not like IR. Too much learning get in the way of producing output. Right? So 门栏户室出英豪. Right? So then, you know, it took take a look at, you know, what is this, right? So now 门来户室出英豪 mean that, you know, this particular structure usually will come out with people who is very outstanding, right? right? So this one is outstanding, right? So those born under such chart, right? So which means that, you know, a Jia, you know, with eating god, right? So is your thing with eating god usually, you know, is remarkable, high class, higher class. So which means saying that your family pretty good, right? So which means that, you know, if you are born, then, you know, suddenly you see that the BaZi coming out, oh, it's an eating god, you know, with all the everything is pretty good. Then which means that your family is gonna, you know, go up the class. So by how? When this fella grow up, highly chances that, you know, he will be accepted into nobility, as in, you know, maybe, you know, and go and get exam done, get selected, then, you know, he will prosper the entire family. It never tells you that. Again, these are just projection. Good, right? So king now EG is pretty good. If it's don't go through any of this, right? 家人煎饼. Alright, 本带气. So this is like example already. So it's an example that, you know, eating god means that the jia sees the ping. So, you know, jia got any ping inside, you know, so it's basically called the eating god. So this is trying to tell you how to what you call recognize the eating god, right? So jia day must encounter ping mean fire, steel, jia wood, and energy, right? So then you can see that 丙区生财耗时神, right? So if the ping is going to grow, so which means that, you know, jia actually if have ping, eating god is actually draining the what we call day master one. So just now I tell you that the day master need to be strong, right? How do you make the day master strong while there is eating god around? Your eating god need to go and produce wealth star. Which wealth star? Direct wealth. This is the only way for you to reduce the energy of the eating god. So the eating god need to be a bit in a control state, right? Then only your day master can be stronger than the eating god, while the eating god is producing the direct wealth. So right now it's time to start and say, oh, why does a eating god structure person need a company direct wealth? If an eating god structure does not have a company direct wealth, the eating god might become too strong. And for it to be structured, it need to be in the month, right? It means the energy is already in a very strong state. So right now you are trying to control the state of the eating god by draining it. So that's why wealth star need to be there. No wealth star, no draining, then, you know, you cannot control it, right? 心宽, right? 体胖, you, 鹿猴. So no, this one is already tell you already the characteristic. Now, so going characteristic of eating god usually is very easy going. 心宽 very easy going. 体胖 fat. Eating god structure piece usually fat. Plum lah, okay, plum, fluffy. Right. Plum, fluffy, right? So yes, correct. John, if no wealth star inside eating god structure, low class. Can you see it's very easy to get relegated into a low class? Very easy to get relegated into low class. Okay, everything, you know, so you fail one low class, you fail something low class. So you see, got IR inside low class already. You got the just now what else? IR hurting officer, got HO inside low class. Got any clash, got anything low class. So right now, you know, don't see direct wealth inside low class. Your chances of getting low class is like astronomical high one, you know. So your lottery ticket of getting an actual functional eating god is actually very low, right? So, you know, raw, 若灵应手足固片, right? So if God yin again, you know, is your resource. Indirect resource is yin. So if God configuration, you know, outpowered by the steel star yin sing, right? Reverse loneliness and poverty. So which means that if there's no indirect resource, fat, got direct resource, got indirect resource, you're on your own. Okay, bad. So now these are descriptions. So now if you are taking a look, oh, this particular fella, eating god one, then I see that, you know, this one, the eating god is counted by the indirect resource star. So I know this particular fella is very lonely. So that's why, you know, life of a artist, creative person is often lonely. Okay, so again, just text only. How many? It is only the third sentence. Okay. So you see, now I ask you, what did the first sentence say? 5 minutes ago only, you already cannot remember. See, study classical, you guys. Don't waste time. Right, so no, 申时, right? So this one is 申时, mean that if you're born in the hour of the what we call monkey, right? So born in the hour of the monkey, right? So no, 围在秋冬, right? So 围在秋冬, 福禄期, right? So秋冬 is Qiu is autumn, right? So Dong is what we call winter, right? So if you are born, if your Wu Day master, right? Specifically, Wu Day master, right? So then you need to take a look at Wu Day master, right? So who was born in the hour of monkey, and then is born in the month of autumn or in the month of winter, right? So only in this condition, right? So then Jia Bing, Mao Ying, right? So got any Jia, got Bing, and any Mao Ying Lai Chong Po, right? So like Ke Po, right? So if got this, right? So it tell you, if you're born in this, then the result is, right? 余而不育, no baby. 主孤弃人 alone. Okay. Right, so then you see that if I am a Wu Day master, if only you are Wu Day master, if you're not Wu Day master, it doesn't say anything about that. Right, so you need to born in the Shen hour. Right, so it born, it produce a special eating god formation. Right, so consider quite auspicious. Right, so the structure work best, if it's born in autumn or winter. Right, so where it bring both wealth and also blessing. Right, so now if you go and do the translation, so if you're born in autumn, right, so you're born in autumn, it's basically your monkey, your rooster, your dog, that's called born in autumn. Right, so if you see that you're born in monkey is already the eating god for Wu Earth law. Right, so and then if it's born in winter, born in winter is wealth, man. Wu Earth, sea winter, sea water is wealth, man. So can you see eating god is actually work very good with wealth, because why? Eating god will further produce wealth. That will reduce the intensity of eating god, giving you a chance of overpowering the eating god. Overpowering means that you are able to control. Understand or not? You are able to control, right? Wu Day master, Shen hour and month, double special lots. Don't know whether double special, right? So again. So if you talk about Jia and Bing, right? So Jia is definitely a energy that will counter the Wu Earth. So when Jia counter Wu Earth, what happened? Wu Earth strength lesson. Makes sense, right? So all the description is basically telling you to properly use eating god, your day master strength must be higher than eating god. To properly use anything at all, your strength must be higher than eating. So which means that if you're driving a car, for you to properly control the car, your strength must be stronger than the car. This one, if you have drive some fast car before, when you take corner that time, right? It is actually not without power steering. If you drive, so that's why now every car got power steering. Power steering that your one finger can do. Last time, my time, when I drive the Datsun thingy, the green color Datsun, I don't know whether it's you guys. Okay, yeah, doing a corner is your hand no power, you cannot do corner one. It's actually trying to describe you this sort of stuff. Right? A lot of classical texts is actually talking about same thing. Right? So now as long as so again, if you don't conform the strict structural condition, low class. Right? So if that's the case, cannot have baby. No baby. Because what eating god represent, again, you produce is concluded as children. So you cannot control that, then no children. Right, so you mentioned that day master, right? Kui water in can't have eating god structure. No, it's not that they cannot have eating god structure. It's just that a functional eating god structure got so many restrictions. So it's very difficult for you to have a functional eating god structure. Functional means that everything is good. So the conclusion is, when you do reading, right, don't read everything is good, sure die one. Too many people are too idealistic. Oh, it must be like this, 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 and nothing you can be done. So that's why the classical way of actually studying this is dead end. You use classical way of studying is confirmed dead end. Your reading is all dead end ready. Right? So every single chart you see, right, it will break condition, low class. Then how? Or low class, then your life is alone, no children. You're gonna conclude that to the other person. Hey, come on, it's not gonna work, right? Life is never perfect, this is not only life is never perfect, it's like 80-90% grim. If you read classical text, your life is 90% grim. Dead. Okay, still got Qimeng feng shui. Qimeng feng shui even worse. Haven't finished. Right, longevity, right? So no, now I'm not gonna read the Chinese. So is again, longevity. By the way, again, we eat the Shou Tao, the one that the peach, the journey to the west, the journey to the west. There's this Shou Tao, right? So Shou Tao is to do longevity, right? So the Fu Lok Shao, Fu Lok Shao. The three-feather ball one, right? Sao is for longevity. So Sao mean is the long noodle, right? So Shou Yuan, right? So Shou Yuan He Qi, 最为qi, right? So then that the qi sa na now enter 7 killing. So just now I told you heading officer no good now, indirect resource no good now. Now got 7 killing. 7 killing also bad. Yep. Right. Yeah, right. So now, 七煞, alright. So where go? 七煞合又在岁时, right? So it tell you, when. So now again, this one you need to understand key term, right? So 七煞 no need lah. 七煞is 7 killing lah, right? So and then 合又在. These three words actually doesn't really have much meaning. It's just that when it's located in 岁时, right? So now, what is 岁? 岁 is grandeur. Right, Sui is grandeur. So if your 7 killing is in the grandeur mean that the year of your born. See, so that's why I said that if your Chinese metaphysics foundational term usage is not really that good, you cannot locate where the hell the fellow is talking about. Right, so Sui is in the year. So now condition. If you got 7 killing in the year, and you are eating God structure, 7 killing in the year, that again, right? 景凶, right? 自杀, right? 当头望, doesn't sound good, right? 其实人见, right? 富贵儿. So let's see, right? So whatever favorite element combine, even Qisa present in the chart. So this one is even if there's Qisa present in the chart, right? So no fear. So now right, saying that okay. Eating God seems to be able to control the 7 killing. So eating God counter 7 killing, right? You guys know, right? Because eating God counter 7 killing, right? Right. So then if you have this sort of, right? So evil influence, evil, right? So this is only if the 7 killing is on top, right? So the person is destined for wealth and noble. So eating God, if he's able to control the 7 killing, then it's good. Because why eating God controls 7 killing? This is not only a person who has idea. He has the gut to go and execute. 7 killing is actually execution. Execution gut, like gut to actually go and face danger. 7 killing is one that has the ability to face danger. It is also the energy that usually go and cause problems. Most of us are low class, and everybody is low class. No need to see, right? So 来啊，十声 right? 纠线 煞局后 right? So this one is if eating God first, then only 7 killing, good. But if 7 killing first, then only eating God, no good. Right? So it's basically that sort of translation. Right. So you see, if you go and read all of this stuff, right? It's like, shit, man, I have to remember so many things. right? They even tell you, which one first, which one next is good or no good. Right, so you can see now, if you take a look at A, A is a Jia, with 7 killing right beside of it. Then, you have an eating god right there, right? So now this one, the Jia is a strong day master, right? So it's born in the yin month. Day master definitely stronger. Right, which in the same time mean that it will be able to further bring up, so there's a eating god there, right? There's a ping inside the Jia, right? So this one is a functional eating god structure, right? So can, but not as strong as the structure. Then this one can control the 7 killing. So this one A is good. B, if you take a look at it now, so you B, it is born not in the actual energy that was supportive. So the day master is weaker, and you can see that the earth actually support the 7 killing. Earth produces the metal. So this one 7 killing is stronger, and this one the eating god is not as strong as the one because it's not in demand. If you take a look at both of this fella, right, they are eating god, they are 7 killing inside, but because the sequence of placement is different, right? B cannot control the 7 killing, so B is gonna get into a lot of trouble, right? So if let's say that you cannot control the 7 killing, then your life is in a restless way, busy, struggling. See again, bad again, right? Bad again. Okay, then it's bad. Okay, right, so now these are all the conclusion after reading all the bloody text. Right, by the way, this is modern study. Modern study, then you don't care about what the text is. I just give you, right? So eating god can perform outperform wealth and influence provided day master is strong. So you need a strong day master for your eating god. Right, Asia can overwhelm eating god. Russia can cause busy exhaustion difficulties. Right, so these are just conclusion after reading all the rubbish text. Okay, right. So now you see eating god with hurting officer, then busy exhaustion difficulties for right. So eating god should not be cleft, punish, destroy, or harm. Right. So yang day master, noble predictions, yin day master, blessing and fortune. Okay, right. So eating god produce wealth, easygoing, generous, good health, comfort, material wealth. Resource star will nullify the effect. Right, that's the eating god in the hour when one pillar have eating god or have wealth. If a one pillar no eating god, more wealth, in the hour pillar not much of use, right? So when day master or eating god is being clashed, opportunities slip away, leading to loneliness, disappointment, hardship. Right, strong day master can subdue 7 killing, which produce wealth. Noble individual enjoy success and also high social standing. Right, so and then resource star will interfere with eating god, causing life. So these are all conclusion of the big long piece of rubbish text that we have just read. So now modern study, you study this. Classical study, you study that. So do you see the point of doing it? But again, all this is why you go study the classical text, then you get why I don't know what is behind the technical text. I don't know what is behind the classical text because I've not seen the data sheet yet. So right, so this is modern study, right? So most of the study that you go out, usually is in this. So this conclusion come from that piece of text just now. So different piece of text will give you different conclusion. Then when you have all the conclusion, later I'll give you the grand conclusion. Then you start to make sense. Oh, okay, all these things make sense, right? But for somebody who have not gone through all of this thing, those things, tend to give you more question than answer. Understand? Why only strong day master are reading a weak day master? Because the weak shall die in the olden day. No one is going to give resources to the weak people in the olden day. Same thing, so I've already told you, right? School, sports, whoever born in the years month of January, February, March, generally they are bigger size when they are in the primary school. So if you're the primary school sports teacher, you have a limited amount of resource that you're supposed to use to develop. Would you develop the October, November, December kid, which is tiny, scrawny, and small versus this big one? All the resources will go to the big one, right? They already naturally run faster, right? So that's why, the January, February, March would generally grow up as better sportsmen than the October, November, December kids. It's not that the October, November, December kids got no potential. It's just that given during that particular time, yes, survival of the fittest basically is. So now when you're going come to the modern timing, right? You please don't use this sort of reading method. Sure die. Right? Can you see that if you use this classical method to do a reading, it's very dark one, you know. Look at your chart, no, really, eating got structure. Yeah, got hurting officer. Hopeless there, you. Oh yo, this one got indirect resource of hopeless. Yeah, chart got clash. Hopeless. Oh, like this, hopeless. Oh, like that, hopeless. Oh, like this, hopeless. All hopeless. Then, you know, yeah, no need lah. Apache chart sure die. See? Got direct well. This fellow got direct well. No clashes. Whoa, class, good. But what's the chances of that happening? Right, so that this is just one text. No, we will continue with the other text, but I'm not gonna go line by line. Right, so so just launch this one. Handsome or not? Right, so use ChatGPT to draw. No, this one is use Nano Banana. Okay, use Nano Banana to do, right? So now we got this 2026 quick guide. Now 2026 quick guide is much like this one, the summary. I look at your chart, I write everything, then I throw it into ChatGPT for it to be transformed into something that's grammatically smooth. Right? And I've asked ChatGPT to remove all the dark side of the reading to give you sunny, happy, positive vibe. It's actually in the prompt. I actually prompt it to write in a more business-like, light humor, sunny, positive, and encouraging. Right, so you get something that, because my writing is a bit on the dark side, especially if this particular year 2026, if you have a red in your chart, I tell you it's pretty dark. Darker better no don't What's the fee? Is very cheap only it's 28 only John. Right, so now so I still go and write everything, so that's why it's slow. Hey guys, this is not like you click in, there's a thingy you do. The me is still me, right? So I open your chart, I look at your 4 animal sign and then I start writing. Right, so now again, please, there's no such thing as your current luck pillar. I'm not reading your luck pillar. It's just the 4 animal sign. Whatever on top also, I'm not reading. Just basically this animal sign. If it's in the year, it means this. If it's in the month, it means this. It means this. I'm doing that as fast as I can do. Then throw into ChatGPT to smooth everything. Then I send you the report. Really easy, okay. Right, so this is still personal touch, aka called manually done. Right, so if you want a quick, I would say a quick dirty summary like just now, no background story, just summary like this year is gonna be like this. You do this, that's it. Okay, easy. Right, more detail than that one in the excursion. Right, the excursion one is actually much more detailed. The excursion one take into consideration of a lot of your interaction. This one, 0 interaction. It's just horse against your pillar. That's it, very fast. What to go show one sample reading? No sample reading showing. Where got time? Right, so now this is another text, right? So this is another blah 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 blah. I give you the conclusion. Right, so moving forward, all the structure is gonna be like this. I'm not gonna be bothered with reading that. You want to read, you go and read on your own. Right, so like here, 庸智食神怕谁伤. Right, so now this one already tell you eating god do not like to be accompanied by hurting officer. Right, if you're eating god got hurting officer, you bye. Right, so 才能, right, so 才能互为路能帮. Right, so now see the one that I highlighted in red color is actually the information. Those in black color are filler wording, or else you cannot get it into the 2 4 6 7. You see, it's 7 7 7 7 7 7 7 7 structure. You also need to give a big clap to whoever written this, to stay to the 7 word per sentence structure and make it sounds nice some more. Right, so it tell you that, okay, if you got wealth, direct wealth, or you got loop mean friend star. Loop is actually friend star, by the way. Direct wealth and also friend star will be able to help by how? Reducing the intensity of the eating god and also your hurting officer. Output produces wealth, so you reduce the intensity, and also the friend star increase your personal strength. Higher strength, lower. So which means that actually they need your personal strength to be higher than the eating god for it to balance, right? So 3 part. So 3 part, xiao is indirect resource. So again, xiao is a word that is used to describe indirect resource. Sa, no need to say lah, no, it's 7 killing. Right? 同来, right? 同来means that if your BaZi chart got indirect resource and also 7 killing together, even worse. Okay, right? So no, 埋在 mean hiding, right? So 埋在 right? So 埋在兵如入牢房. So if you got indirect resource and 7 killing together, you will go into jail. Sick, right? So disaster, right? So 食神本事, right? 一人 So this way, eating god is equivalent to a 一人 is star, artistic person. 一人 is an artistic person. Celebrity, I don't know what you call, right? So can you see that the eating god is highly associated with people who is, again, a performance based, right? 一人 right? So 一人 is a celebrity, by the way, right? So 一人 is celebrity, right? 得财得禄. So again, this word lu and the one on the top, the lu is actually the same way. So they are borrowing it different so that it's easy to read, right? So if you get money and you get the way, the pathway, the route, 商情运 is very high. So which means that if your eating god really want to be good, it need to be accompanied by direct wealth and also friend star. So again, 孝 Wang Sa Qiang. So this one is telling about indirect resource and also 7 killing if it's very strong. So again, so this one you need to go back to the strength of an element. So you need to start to analyze the thing, is this particular. So look at the month again. If the month is again is indirect resource or the month is basically 7 killing, then jackpot. Right? So then what is it? 朝朝暮暮. Alright, so 败家营. So you are gonna become somebody who's gonna create downfall to your family. Scare. Right, so 食神有用. Right, so 食神有用不收羹. Right, 满富满贵是天生. Right, so eating god usually the success is very slow. Typical of an artist. Artist success, artists, their life in the beginning suffer, then they die, then prosper. Right? It's not very encouraging, isn't it? Right, so okay, right, so now Ruo Feng, if got 贞观 mean again direct officer, then don't have 7 killing. If you can see direct officer, don't see 7 killing, right? So 以德财星, right? So 以德财星入皇门. Wow, so if got direct officer, don't have. Now 入皇门mean that you get to serve the emperor. Going to the palace, let's serve the emperor. 皇门 mean that serving emperor. Good luck. Can you see that, right? So wow, for the eating god to be functional, so damn many requirement, right? So eating god, cannot have hurting officer, right? So you don't see indirect resource, don't see 7 killing, right? So already cannot see this 3 fella, hurting officer, indirect resource, 7 killing, cannot see them. Then you need to have well star, you need to have friend star, you need direct officer. Die. Right, die, right? Okay, right, so come any other reading god, this is another one more. So again, we're not going to go through it, right? So just go through the entire English summary, right? So now this English summary again, right, I throw it into ChatGPT. I throw it into Google Translate. You know, I ask Google Translate to read everything, right? So that I know what the hell the fella is looking at. Is very flowery, right? So that's where the Hanyu Pinyin come in, right? Google Translate Hanyu Pinyin come in, right? So then the Google Translate version of this is piece of shit, cannot be trusted. Right, the what we call the ChatGPT version is a bit more stable, right? So there are certain stuff that's not stable inside I remove already, right? So it's eating God is like blooming flower, right? So 食神像一朵花 what does it mean? Beautiful lor, fragile lor, yeah, right? So just imagine a flower beautiful or not, fragile or not, crush and then finish. A flower cannot tahan hardship one. So eating God cannot stand hardship one. Cannot stand. It's basically a vase in the living room. Touch only break. Right? But have a vase in the living room, when people come in, take a look at it, say that you got class now. Right? When the day master is strong, 热旺. Okay? The person is often healthy, well-built, and prosperous. Fat. Right? Yeah, fat. Okay? 体胖 is fat. Right, so now you know eating God eat fat. Right, so in the olden day, if you have the privilege of being fat, mean that you are quite well off. Yeah, fat is a very big. Now today, everybody is fat. 60% of people is obese. Everybody is eating God now, you know, so you don't need to find eating God. Okay, right? So it brings wealth, abundance, good morale, respect, tradition, filial devotion, and it's often linked to artistic talent. So that's basically tell you, right? So 财路, 丰厚, right? 道德, right? So 有道德. So 财路 is, you know, again income, 丰厚 very thick, you know, 有道德, you know, got this moral 道德. Right? So no, then it's 理智, right? So 理智 孝训 is filial, right? So 理智孝训效率的艺术家, right? So you know, all this basically. So you can see that, you know, actually eating God, the overall, if you fit the structure in a strict classical sense, it's actually quite a good structure. Very, very noble, you know, very well taken care of. Right? People influenced by eating God tend to have a flair of music, so that's why they're very artistic. Dance, elegance, charm, right? Can become you know, financially successful in their later years. Right? So why? I know just now I told you, right? Slow, steady, right? All those kind of things, right? So if too many eating gods start appear, right? So too many God eating start appear, it becomes a sickness. Right? So which means that if you count now too many 8 boxes minus 1, so you got 7 boxes. Too many mean that got 4 lah. Right, that's the mathematical alignment. By the way, there are classical texts that basically there is classical text that basically say that one eating god, or you know, so don't care lah. You know, one eating god is this, 2 eating god is this, 3 eating god is this, 4 eating god is this, 5 eating god is this, 6 eating god is this, 7 eating god is this. That got classical text that does writing in such a manner. And so, you know, you can go and search for it. Okay, so which means that they have, you know, version that say that 1 7 killing is like this, 2 7 killing is like this, 3 7, maximum is 7 lah. Right, 8 boxes ma, right? So 8 boxes, you know, you appeared either 7 times, right? So, yeah. Okay, all right. So now in man's chart, this configuration can indicate marital disappear. Although it's talking about if too many eating god. If a man chart too many eating god, then you know got possible of difficulty in terms of your marital. For women, also difficulty. So which means a chart got too many eating god one, actually their relationship not that good. Let's see, I don't know. Indirect resource appear alongside eating god is considered no good, sometimes symbolizing difficulty early nurturing, you know, a lack of mother milk. So which means that, you know, you've got IR there, you know, so which means that you are a neglected child. Right? Sad. Right? So this is again another classical text. So there are many of these classical texts, you know, all of them have conclusion. Right? So then, you know, basically, you know, these are the conclusion. Right, so you know, eating god C hurting officer bad, eating god C 7 killing bad, eating god C 7 killing and hurting officer 7 killing and hurting officer bad. No, just now say eating god C hurting officer and indirect resource Even more bad. Eating God C, already that one is supposed to be indirect resource. Forgot to change. Bad. Only time when it's good is when you see direct officer is good. If you see direct wealth or indirect wealth star is good. This is your eating God. Right? So if you're reading eating God, you read this. Finish. Yes, hurting officer but 7 killing is basically a very explosive thingy. Very bad, right? So hurting officer 7 killing is called you shall not challenge me structure. Seabed, don't tell me cannot, I show you can. Right. Body then okay lah. So if you know there's this, you're going to trigger the fella. It's very easily trigger. Hurting officer 7 killing very easily trigger. It's provided that you're eating God. Provided you're eating God. If you read enough, you will find out that almost all the structures see hurting officer 7 killing indirect resource bad. It make your study much more easier, right? So come, let's take a look at an example, right? So this is our late Cai Lan, right? So if you don't know Cai Lan is a very, very famous food blogger. He is the godfather of food blogging. Okay? Good for athlete, right? Yeah, HO 7 killing good for athlete. Generally, 7 killing is a good for athlete type of thing. Hurting officer is also quite athletic. Right, so hurting officer. So this is Cai Lan. So we take a look at, right? So worth. So don't have the hour of birth, of course. Again, you can go Wikipedia and find his birthday. It's one of Hong Kong 4 scholar. Right, so Hong Kong, during the Hong Kong heydays. Right, so when Hong Kong creativity was flourishing, this is one of the 4 fella who is very good. 4 fella is who? If I can remember. Jing Rong is they write a kung fu novel, right? So kung fu novel, the what you call 神雕侠女, right? So Condor Hero, right? So that's Jing Rong. Then you got who else? See, I cannot remember already. Jing Rong, Wang Jim. Wang Jim is a very script writer, very, very strong script writer. Right? So so Wang Jim is a songwriter, right? So a lot of the Hong Kong very famous song, right? Under the Lion's a mountain, 西极山下, is basically, he wrote one, right? So he's a very famous songwriter. Then there's another which is director, script writer one. I always forgot that fella. Sorry. And there's Cai Lan. Cai Lan is the food. He's basically the enjoyment ambassador. Right. His life is very, very enjoyment. Super enjoyment. Plenty of women around her. But anyway, right? So this is eating God. So now he belonged to the very special, very problematic. So he belonged to the special structure, which is the Hills and Dusek. The owl stealing the food because got indirect resource. Oh, look at this. But this one is supposed to be inauspicious. Now, by the strict reading of the classical text, his Bazi chart is supposed to be inauspicious. Just now say that I'm eating God. So this one is a bona fide qualified eating God structure with an eating God in the month. Right? Eating God. Okay, bona fide structure. But got indirect resource war, and the indirect resource is pretty strong. Some more rooted indirect resource should be a failure or the guy, but how come? By the way, initial part of his life is pretty failure. Right, then got hurting officer. Just now tell already, if hurting officer together with indirect resource, pretty bad one, but how come it's okay one? So now this one go into deeper study already. You need to go to deeper study to understand. You gotta know that benzene is combined. Right, so the combination actually nullified the indirect resource and also hurting officer because both of them got melded into something else. It got melded into water. So water is what? Benzene combined water. Water is what? Wealth star. So suddenly these two fella add up together, it becomes wealth star. Da-da-da. Does the monkey grow the wealth star? Does metal grow water? Metal grow water, right? So suddenly the water star become more quality. So now the wealth star is actually more quality because the monkey, the eating god, grow wealth. So in a matter that you don't really understand, if you don't have the strong foundation, this is actually an eating god producing well structure. It is not the owl stealing the food structure anymore. Can transform like that one ah. Yep. Yeah, basically 八字 chart sometimes become transformer. Right, so now can you see that he's actually belonging to a very auspicious eating god producing well structure, and hence then you take a look from there, right? Oh, now it explains a lot of things that's basically happening, especially when he's running into his water luck pillar that time, right? Which is his wealth luck pillar, right? Everything just fly up. Okay, can see right? Monkey snake also produce water, right? So you can see, yeah, EG produce well, right? So this place, and then you know, it's like this Bazi chart, the dear master strong, you know, he's sitting on himself, you know. Can you see that he's sitting on his his Lu. Just now I said that if he's supported by Lu, which is himself, right? So can you see so he meet the criteria of sitting on friend star. He meet the criteria of friend star, so he's an eating god structure with a very strong wealth transformative chart. So can you see that he meet all the auspicious criteria? Only thing don't have right now is officer. So you will also see that during his officer luck pillar, that's where he start to fly. Because the missing component. Now can you see that, you know, why this fella, you know, all his life enjoy. And I truly believe he has a Bazi master, Feng Shui master, that once sit down and talk to him that, hey, Choi Lan, maybe you want to go into, because before this also he writes song, before this also he writes script. He also does all those things, song writing, script writing, novel book writing also he done all those things, right? But the one that really made him fly was talking about food. So I confirm that one day, you know, he got sit down with a certain master. The master said that your structure is actually belong to this. You are more suitable in doing enjoyment, lifestyle, and this. And he listened. He switched over to writing enjoyment, lifestyle, food related thing, and that just made him fly. And he become the grandfather of enjoyment blogging. I go and read his enjoyment. His writing is really good one, I tell you. Wang Jim, I cannot read Chinese. Kam Yong. I know Kam Yong, I know Wang Jim, I know Choi Lan. Another one I always forgot how to read. He's a film script writer. Okay, right, so too bad. Right, so no, Day Master Wu Chen, right? Not Lu, Wu Chen. Wu Chen also sit on Lu lah. Wu Chen also sit on, got Wu Chen or not first? Let me see. Wu Chen also sit on Lu also can. Does it also sit on friend star? Okay, yes. Right, so Wu Chen also can sit on friend star. Exactly so, but there's a different quality friend star lah. Right, can see. So now again, if you read the Bazi chart correctly, you know, it fits with the classical text, you really get a person that's like that one, you know. So that's why you want to say that the predictive art of this is actually strong or not, it's pretty awesome. After 5 years of reading people chart, is pretty awesome. So that's why a lot of people, you know, after, you know, getting a reading proper, like it's proper reading, find it that, you know, it's like that. Then if you slowly follow and you build yourself around the structure, so which means that if you're a B-class Mercedes-Benz, don't go and try and rise with the E-class car, yo, don't do that. You do what your B-class is strong. Then you become functional, you become good. Don't try to, you know, again, Ferrari, don't go to dirt road trying to carry dirt to the work site. If you're a dirt carrying truck, please stay in the dirt road, carry your dirt to the dirt site. Don't go to the highway and try to race. The entire idea of Bazi chart is to understand at which area you function the most appropriate. And you build everything around the appropriate functionality of that particular place, you would achieve success. You go against, like if you ask Choi Lan to go and fight, no, Choi Lan is not a fighter, right? So that's why if you really go and read Choi Lan, you really go and take a look, the fella don't go to public and whack people one. He know it's not him. What he do? Go take his pen, whack the fellow. You know, it's like there's certain restaurant he doesn't like, right? He write. Manjin, manjin. You don't go to the restaurant and yeah. You don't see him going for protesters. Correct lah, John, you know, so if you're in Singapore, right, so no, yes. By the way, you know, Singapore luxury car business actually cannot survive. Right, but why the luxury car store is still there? Branding purpose. It's there for just people to remember. In Singapore cannot sell luxury car. How many can you sell a month? Doesn't make sense, right? So luxury car shop usually lose money. Okay, can guys? So these are, you know, generally what we call classical text study. So now moving forward, all the structure, I'm going to give you the short version. I'm not going to go through all this lengthy, you know, rubbish stuff. You know, it's just waste of time. Right, so if you guys, you know, got time, can read Chinese, go read it on your own. Right, go read it. I'll just give you the grand conclusion. Simple enough, huh? Right, so you learn in a faster manner. Right. Too expensive. Not too expensive is COE though. Actually, because COE everybody is the same. Right? COE is 100,000 Sing nowadays. Again, give or take 100,000 Sing. So it just doesn't make sense if you have 100,000 COE to buy any car that's lesser than 100,000. But your COE is more expensive than your car, so you know it's, you know, so it's your COE 100,000, then you're gonna buy something that, you know, 200,000-300,000 one. It sounds okay lah. That's my logic lah. Sorry lah, that's my logic lah. Right, so you cannot be, you know. So that's why a lot of times some people said, hey, do you do consult overseas? Yes is the answer first. Yes is the answer first, right? So but here's the thing, right? If you say you are in the Europe or the US side, right, the airplane ticket itself is gonna be more expensive than a consult. It start to doesn't make sense. You see, it start to doesn't make sense. Right? So if I ask you to go and watch a concert, right, the airplane ticket is more expensive than the concert. I don't know whether it makes sense or not. Okay, but anyway, right? So no, and again, you see, right? So now again, one thing, you know, I might not be able to find the right person for all the structure, so there are going to be certain sessions whereby, you know, I don't have a representative person. This guy just happened to fit everything very nice as an example. Right? So he's a very famous food blogger, super famous. He's Wen Cai. His literacy skill really very good. He's really an epitome of things about eating God. So this is like the eating God poster child. Right, so if I can find another one, Steve Jobs probably is another one which is a bit more to the negative side of eating God, you know. Yes, you can go and read that. Right. Okay, right, so Bonnie, right, so now, yeah, no, so rewatch this if you want, right? So again, go and read it on your own, see, you know, how you interpret it. But anyway, a classical study mean doing this. All right, so I seriously, I don't really encourage you all to go and, you know, do classical study. It's a bit too heavy, and in the end, the conclusion all's gonna look almost exactly the same. So you might as well just go for the modern and just pull the conclusion and just, I believe you, right? So now just end you with some joke a bit, you know. So this one study is like what? So there is this fella who basically cooked turkey, and the first thing that the fella do after getting the turkey is chop the turkey into half. Then the fella look at you, what the hell are you doing? Why are you chopping the turkey into half? Oh, this is what my mom asked me to do, right? Ever since I know, I see my mom cook turkey, right? First thing she do is to chop it into half one. Then the fella asked, why did you do? We call your mom and see, you know. So hey, auntie, I see your daughter cook turkey. I don't know why she chopped the turkey in half, you know. And then she said that, you know, it is you who said must chop turkey in half one. Auntie, why? They said, I also don't know. My mother, last time I see her cook turkey, right? She chopped the turkey in half, right? So don't know lah. Then, you know, say okay. Then, you know, they call the grandma, They call grandma, say, hey grandma, you know, I see your granddaughter cook turkey, and then she chopped the turkey in half. Why? And then I also call your daughter, which is mother, you know, chop turkey in half. Why? She said it's because you say so, but why? Oh, chop turkey in half because last time our oven only got half turkey size, ma. But I'm telling you, you know, sometimes, you know, you might not be able to call the grandmother and ask, you know, like a lot of this conclusion that you see, this one no good, right? So here's the thing, right? It's not possible for you to go back and dig out the dead guy who made the observation in the first place telling you it's bad, and he only leave you with, you know, this bamboo stick that said that it's bad. There are no rescue to it. So sometimes you just have to accept it. And then you wear your modern interpretive hat, do a bit of a backward projection, right? So, you know, if your foundation is strong enough, you'll be able to do all this backward projection, and you know why this particular element is actually bad for the chart. And if this particular element is bad, right, there are things that you can do to dampen the element's energy, right, which is back to either counter or weaken it. It's all back to counter weaken, right? Every single one, the theory is the same. Too powerful, you either weaken or counter it. So you can fix everything already, or whatever chart you can fix already. With this very simple knowledge, you can fix every chart. So if you want it to be better, then you strengthen it. If you want better control over it, then you strengthen whichever that's basically controlling you, you strengthen that. So it's either weaken the problematic fella or strengthen the controlling mechanism. BaZi chart is just playing with these two mechanisms only. Okay, so where does the controlling mechanism come in? It can come in from feng shui. You can use qi to come in. A lot of different angle you can do, right? So, you know, all those. This is where, you know, your foray of your entire tool set, right? So basically comes in, right? So it's just playing with all of that only. And so once you understand all the functionality basics, the all chart is the same. How do you fix the chart is the same, but you need to have a baseline. This is where your structure comes in. So once you look at the structure, you have a baseline already. Okay, right, this is the baseline that I'm working it. You know, I'm gonna tweak it here, I'm gonna tweak it there, tweak. All this tweak is basically action-based already. If I see this too high, then, you know, I tweak it up a little bit, put it down already. Like for example, eating God, cutting officer no good. Learn to shut up. Easiest ma. Right? Learn to shut up. With 7 killing, you know, if you cannot control 7 killing, don't join the fight. Right? Indirect resource, don't be too capable. Don't be too capable mean that if you're eating God, you're supposed to be a specialist. Indirect resource costs you to be a generalist one, because you capable everything. Right? You need to specialize, or you need to niche down. Makes sense. You see here, if you translate it to human term, right, it seems to be very easy already. Don't talk too much. Concentrate on your line. Don't go pick fight. Alright? Earn more money. Well-star mean that please, you know, more diligent. Well-star mean diligent. Direct officer mean being disciplined and proper. So you need to be eating God need to be disciplined, need to be diligent. Don't talk too much. Don't go and fight. Don't get capable. Good eating God. So can you see that Choi Lan very concentrate on lifestyle food. He basically abandoned everything else. Yeah. Focus. Don't talk too much. Focus, you know, do right. So write your piece. So that's why eating God is better at writing than talking. Because they need a lot of time to process their wording. Only during writing that you will be able to process. Talking once go out of your mouth already cannot. I'll change my word. Like I always do for fun is that after give a statement already, then I said I raise my hand. I want to change my statement. Okay. Understand? I want to change my statement. I do that for fun. Okay, no, it's like, you know, after saying my word already, say, wait, I change my statement. Then I give a completely different version. Usually the other party will start laughing. You know? It's like, so which version you like? You don't like this version? I give you this version. I got third version as well. You know, I got fourth version. Which one you like? Any version okay one, you know, as long as you like. right? So and then in the end you understand that, you know, whatever version I give you doesn't change the underlying fact. The underlying fact doesn't get changed, you know, make you feel better only, right? So different version make you feel different. That's it, right? Underlying fact is underlying fact, right? So I am an underlying fact type of person, so it's big cool. Anyway, okay, so this is your eating god, right? So go back to here, right? So see, next time got chance. Next time got chance, you know, we're gonna go and, you know, see, you know. So let's see. Hey, I haven't do. Yeah, haven't do everything yet. No, sorry lah. No, the menu is not too functioning. Right, so this one is done. Nah, everything haven't been linked yet. All right, so guys, this is for, you know, so this is like good 1.5 hour for chit chatting, and this is summary version. So if you really go for, I don't know, like, if you want to call academic class. Do you see the value of doing this? No, sorry. Right, so this is already very academic. I don't know, it's got half university level of studying. Nah, right, so it's not very useful. Okay, cool. Right, so see you guys again, you know, every now and then, right? So there's not going to be any 7:30 live telecast at least for the next 3 weeks. Okay, so I'll be in China, I'll be in Vietnam, right? So a lot of places, but you will still see me post stuff, right? So you want to follow, please go to the community channel, right? So I'll try to post things in the Facebook for you to see. There will be some YouTube, which either I can go live, cannot, then, you know, I'll just post video for you guys to see. Right, so unleash your eating god. Please unleash my eating god. I don't have eating god to unleash. There's no eating god in my chat, 0. So this is not my problem. I don't have any of the eating god problem. Okay guys, bye.